Thank you so much for your precious time here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. This sounds strange at first because we assume feeling better requires fixing life itself. Different job, different people, different past. But neuroscience shows something quieter. What often changes how life feels is not life, but the internal frame the brain uses to process it, which sounds really absurd. But the human brain is constantly scanning for uncertainty. Uncertainty is expensive, it drains energy, it keeps the nervous system alert. That's why the brain naturally looks for coherence, a sense that the events make sense enough to stop overreacting. Beliefs like everything is written do something very specific in the brain. They reduce prediction error. When the brain believes events are random and meaningless, the subconscious stays highly active, searching, replaying, scanning, worrying. But when the brain adopts a stable internal belief like everything is written, not because that everything directly happens for something good or bad, but everything is already predetermined. Activity in threat-related systems decreases. The prefrontal cortex gains more control. The amygdala fires less intensely. The nervous system spends less time in alert mode. This doesn't mean the belief has to be literally true. The brain doesn't run on truth, it runs on stability. A coherent belief acts like a protective filter. It stops every event from flooding the subconscious mind with intensity. And our protective filters and mechanisms are a huge part of our brain immunity. Feelings immunity. Instead of why is this happening, the brain shifts toward okay, this is happening, what now? That shift, matters. Because brains that feel safer solve problems better. Stress chemistry decreases. Dopamine becomes more usable for motivation. Serotonin stabilizes emotional range. Norepinephrine sharpens focus instead of panic. In other words, internal balance improves. And when balance improves, your capacity to handle life improves. Not by fighting reality harder, but by burning less energy, resisting it. People who hold stabilizing internal beliefs don't avoid pain. They recover faster. They're more likely to pause instead of spiral, adapt instead of freeze. But of course, 98% of our feelings come from internal balance, not 2% from outside world. I explained it in different videos. And such a belief as everything is written can slowly regain balance after setback. So everything written isn't about giving up control. It's about giving the brain permission to gain control. When the nervous system calms, solutions become visible. Choices widen, endurance increases. Life doesn't change instantly, but your relationship with it does. And from the brain's perspective, that's often enough to create a feel-good life without changing life itself. But of course, 98% is about internal balance. But this and internal balance can slowly create a feel-good life without even trying to change it, without even doing anything. Thank you so much for your precious time. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Feel free to hang out with me even more in other videos, but absolutely no pressure. I explain if you don't understand something, what I'm saying, I explain it in other videos. Take care, especially take care, please. I wish you so much joy, strength, and resilience. Take care, and I can't wait to catch you soon.